Welcome to our series, Moving America Forward. Each week we'll be focusing on America's entrepreneurs as they take us to new roads, new opportunities, new ways to fill the gaps left by today's failing companies. Our series will be looking at that and a lot more. So come with me and watch as the entrepreneurs of our nation move into the future.
And I'm Doug Llewellyn here in our studios today with our guest who is the president of a company called American Federal Rare Coin and Bullion, which is headquartered in Carefree, Arizona. I'd like you to meet him now. His name is Nick Grovich. Nick, welcome. Nice to have you with us.
Nice to be here.
You're in a fascinating business, Nick. But before we begin, a little while ago you had a chance to answer some questions from William Shatner. Let's take a look at a brief portion of that, see how it went.
Terrific.
Okay, let's watch.
I know you are well established in your business, but, and I'm sure it wasn't easy to get started. Would you describe for me briefly what you do and how you began your business, and how do you think it's helping to move America forward?
Mr. Shatner, I've been a coin collector since I was a kid because I love rare coins and the history associated with them. I decided to become a professional coin dealer in 1980, and I bought American Federal in 1985. We try to educate collectors and investors not only on the benefits of rare coins, but also the dangers. I believe in educating people, not just spending their money. That's how we are helping to move America forward.
You know, this really is quite a fascinating story. I haven't had the chance to talk to many people in your line of the business. How did you get into coin collecting in the very beginning?
Well, when I was a kid, I was always fascinated by the history behind coins. I got some old coins one day, and I thought about who might have handled those coins, what was going on at the time they were made, and I got hooked on collecting rare coins.
So much so that you made it a career.
As I got older, I learned how to trade coins, how to horse trade and swap and sell for little profits. You know, when you're a kid, you can't afford to buy everything you want, so I'd buy a coin, then move on to the next coin, but I had to figure out how to sell the coin that I owned in order to move on to the next one. And did that throughout college, and when I got out of college, I continued doing that.
You know, it's kind of interesting. Are there a lot of collectors of coins in the country?
There's quite a few. The number has been dropping, I think, the last 10 years. You know, the younger generation isn't quite as exposed to the rare coin market as my generation.
But it's still a fascinating study. There must be problems in this field. Talk to me a little bit about that, because you're really a renowned expert. A lot of people know you, are familiar with you, they trust you.
Right.
What are the big issues when it comes to collecting coins?
Well, the one thing about the coin market is it's a positive and a negative. We're not regulated, so there's no government agencies that oversees coin collectors. If you wanted to be a coin dealer, you could put a sign in front of your store and be a coin dealer tomorrow, and there's no regulation, no licensing.
Right.
So in some ways that's good, but in a lot of ways you don't have the protections that a regulated business would have.
So that's one of the big issues.
That's one of the big issues, is anyone can be a coin dealer and put themselves out there as an expert. And if the buyer doesn't take time to vet the dealer, they don't really know if they're getting an expert or not.
You know, I want to point out that this gentleman is highly regarded in this field. He writes books. He does radio shows all on this subject. This is one of his books called The Big Lie and Absolute Truth. What is this really all about? The whole story of coin collecting?
It's a lot of the inside workings of the coin market. A lot of dealers are not real happy I wrote that book.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of great dealers out there, and they would agree with what's in the book, but I tell people how to find the pricing of coins, what to watch out for when they're buying coins. So there's a lot of different things in the book that even a seasoned collector would learn how to save some money if they're buying rare coins or gold and silver bullion.
But do most collectors get into this for the investment aspect of it, or is it the collection?
There's really two sides to the market. There's the collector side. Of course, collectors still like to see their coins go up in value.
Right.
When I collect coins, I'd rather collect something I think I'll make money on. And there's the investment side. And over the last 30 to 40 years, more people have gotten into rare coins from the investment side. It's been something that has kind of ridden the tails of the gold and silver market. So gold and silver dealers have continually added more and more rare coins to their offerings.
Well, I have a couple of coins here, some examples of the kind of thing that you carry. Let me show you this coin. And we can get a shot of it here, and you can see. Tell me a little bit about this specific coin.
So this is called a Morgan dollar. This is a very familiar type of coin. A lot of people that are in the market understand what a Morgan dollar is. They made those from 1878 to 1921. This particular coin is a collector's edition that the Mint made especially for collectors way back in 1890.
Yeah.
They only made 590 coins, so it's a very rare coin all its own. This particular coin has a PF67, which doesn't mean anything to you if you don't know the coin market, but that's a very high quality coin. There's about 17 of those known to exist in that condition.
Now they're gold, but they're not all solid gold. There's a little bit of some other metal in with it, right?
Now that coin's silver, and it's less than 3/4 of an ounce of silver.
Oh, this in silver. Okay, right. It almost looks gold in the light there.
It's got a little tarnish, which we call toning, which is normal on the older coins.
What would the value of this coin be?
A coin like that would be worth, rough figures, about $20,000.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Here's another coin. This one is. Now this one's definitely gold. Tell me about this one. Yeah.
This is one of my favorites. This is a $10 gold piece from 1800. So the U.S. Mint started making these $10 gold pieces in 1795. So this is very early on in the U.S. coinage.
It's dated 1800.
And it's dated 1800. Yeah. What I love about that coin was made in Philadelphia. The collector in me looks at that coin and I think, well, who could have handled that? Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, think of the people who could have been around when that coin. Yeah, it's very possible.
But they didn't make that many. Why did they only make so few? And what was the value at that point? It was $100?
That's a $10 gold piece, $10? Which actually was a lot of money back in 1800. You had to be fairly wealthy to own a $10 gold piece back then. I think $10 was the average monthly wages back in 1800.
So that's a real valuable coin then?
That's about a $40,000 to $45,000 coin. That coin, the interesting thing on that coin is it's from 1800 and that coin's never been used in commerce, so it's still a brand new coin just as you would have found it in 1800.
So it's what you'd call this in mint condition then?
Mint condition, uncirculated, correct.
So, and that makes it really rare, I would presume.
Extremely.
You were talking about how people who collect coins and things, and they save them in unique places.
Oh yeah.
Both gold and silver. Tell me the story of the lady who held silver bars.
Well, as you can imagine, a lot of my clients are very private, and a lot of my clients don't like storing their items in banks. They want to be very private. They think of some pretty ingenious ways to hide their material. And one lady I met had 1,000-ounce bars of silver. Now, 1,000-ounce bars of silver is about that long and about that wide, and it weighs about 70 pounds. So it's not real easy to move them around. And as we stood in her front yard, she told me she wanted to sell her silver. And of course, my next question was, well, let's go get it. Where is it? And she said, well, you're standing on it. She had painted them black and outlined her flower garden with them. So it's crazy the places people will hide their gold and silver.
All right, let me show you something. This is going to intrigue you. Tell me about this. This is the real thing, folks.
That's the real thing. That's a 1 kilo bar of gold. That's for investors who want to own a substantial amount of gold. Gold comes in all different sizes from 1 gram to 1 ounce to a kilo or higher. Kilo is 32.15 ounces. That's a kilo bar from the Bank of Canada.
Yeah, this is Canadian. It's got a serial number on it. I guess all bars like this have serial numbers for identification. Right?
Generally, they're serial numbered. Yeah. That's correct.
And this is heavy. That's a very heavy.
Yeah, that little bar is 2.2 pounds, so it gives you an idea of the weight.
And what would the value of this be?
Today, that would be just under $37,000.
$37,000. Okay, we hear a lot about collecting gold. Are you in favor? Do you encourage people to collect gold?
I do. I think it makes sense for a lot of people. I wouldn't tell people to go take every last dollar they have and put it into rare coins or gold and silver bullion. I think it's more of an insurance policy. Most of my clients buy it in case we would have some kind of crisis in the world or some kind of economic collapse, and they have some gold, kind of, like I said, kind of as an insurance policy stuck under the bed for a rainy day.
Something else interesting about you is you fly to clients to meet with them. They don't all come to Carefree, Arizona.
That's correct.
You're willing to load coins, put them, with you, get on an airplane and fly to Cincinnati or Miami or wherever if somebody's interested. that's kind of unusual, isn't it?
It is. That's our niche in the marketplace. We travel to different states every month, either myself or one of the gentlemen that work with me.
Yeah.
And we'll fly into a certain city or area and we'll visit 20 to 40 people in a week. You know, a lot of people, you don't want to send a $100,000 coin or even a $5,000 coin through the mail sometimes. So we try and give personalized service. We'll show up, we'll meet them at their home or their bank or their attorney's office, wherever they're comfortable. We'll review their coins and, you know, tell them the values. We show them how to value them, what they're worth, how they've done.
And if somebody's interested in this field, obviously they can contact you. I mean, but you have your office in Carefree. Are you on the internet? Do you have, you know, market these on the internet?
Yes, we do. We're at AmericanFederal.com.
Okay.
And if someone wanted us to come visit them, they can fill out a form or get a hold of me there. And you know, we have a little checklist we go through. We get a list of their coins. We call it a coin review,
okay.
CPR, coin performance review. We show them how the coins have performed and how they're likely to do.
I want to also ask you about the guild, the PNG Guild. What is that?
That's called the Professional Numismatics Guild. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the few organizations that actually does police its members. As I mentioned earlier, coin dealers are not regulated. And like every other business, we have our ABC organizations, you know, 3 letters here and 3 letters there. And for the most part, most of them you can join for whatever the monthly or yearly fee is. The Professional Numismatists Guild vets their members. The current members have to vote on any new member that comes in. They check out your finances. They check out your reputation. We have to sign a code of ethics, which we're bound to. And also, they have a binding arbitration agreement with their members. So, you know, one of the things in rare coins is a lot of people aren't real sure of what they're buying. And the nice thing about the PNG is you have that assurance that if a PNG dealer tells you they're selling you something, in other words, they can't falsely.
It's a degree of trust you have. It's the one thing that exists in this arena. Well, listen, this is just a fascinating story, and you do a radio show as well in Arizona and in Palm Springs, California?
Right. I have a weekly show in Arizona. It's called Good as Gold, and I'm on every Thursday from 1 to 2 o'clock. And it's a lot of fun. Some days when there's something really big going on in the metals market, we'll talk about metals. Other days we'll talk about you know, different coins. I ask trivia questions. I get a lot of local collectors, and a lot of collectors from around the country will call and join in.
Very good. One of the true experts in this field, Nick Grovich. Nick, thank you so much for
telling us.
Thanks so much
for
all.
being here.
Nice having you here.
Thank you.
Now it's my honor to present this prestigious award to Nick Grovich, the president of American Federal Rare Coin and Bullion of Carefree, Arizona, for the outstanding work his firm is doing to help keep moving America forward. Nick, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you from the team at American Federal.
You're welcome.